WWE superstar Zoey Stark suffers a gruesome leg injury on Monday Night Raw last night, being removed from the Triple Threat Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, causing plans to change on the fly. Roxanne Perez officially is called up to Monday Night Raw, joining the Raw roster. Also, we saw Lyra Valkyria return to Raw last night, preventing Becky Lynch from qualifying for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We saw both the aforementioned Roxanne Perez and Rhea Ripley qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match at the upcoming titular PLE. Roxanne Perez is also introduced to the Judgment Day last night and brings gifts for Dominic Mysterio and Carlito. Several matches are confirmed for Monday Night Raw next week on Netflix. A match has been confirmed for Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. WWE LFG Season 2 has an official premiere date. There could be more than business in play with WWE's approach to Mexico after acquiring AAA Lucha Libre. We've got the ratings for Friday's edition of SmackDown with the lowest rating so far of 2025 for the Blue brand. Plus, Queen of the Ring, WWE are accused of sabotaging or attempting to sabotage the movie. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Before we begin with today's news stories, you can see right there, we're at 21,784 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestling News universe. In addition, you can become a member of the WN365 roster. The link's in the video description below. You can click the join button or scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar. Get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. While checking out the sidebar, you can also see upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows we've got on the channel live, including AEW Double or Nothing this weekend, as well as WWE Saturday Night's main event. Now let's begin with a very gruesome injury that happened live on Monday Night Raw last night on Netflix. Zoey Stark had to be carried out to the back by a ringside medical official following a gruesome injury during her Money in the Bank qualifying match against Rhea Ripley and the newly returned Kairi Sane on Monday Night Raw. Stark flew off the ropes in an attempt to take out Sane with a missile dropkick, but landed wrong and her knee bent awkwardly. You can see a picture on the screen right there. In the opposite direction a knee should bend. Stark immediately dropped to the canvas and clutched her leg. The camera stayed on the match for a moment before focusing on Ripley in the corner, then eventually moving to the Money in the Bank briefcases suspended above the ring before going to commercial. Footage posted to social media for the broadcast showed the official attempt to help Stark to the back, but she couldn't put weight on her leg and had to be carried up the ramp. The camera cut away again when the official scooped her up into his arms. The match continued and Ripley would emerge victorious. There is no official word on the nature of the damage, but a serious knee injury seems likely. The match was Stark's first back on television following the release of her tag team partner Shayna Baszler. Stark is also no stranger to knee injuries. She was out of action for 9 months after tearing her ACL and meniscus in November of 2021. She returned to WWE NXT in July 2022 after working as a producer on the brand while rehabbing her injury. Now, this did cause plans to change last night on Raw. As I mentioned, it was a triple threat match involving Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane. Now, once Stark was receiving medical attention and help to the back, the match continued effectively as a singles match, with Ripley picking up the victory following a riptide to Kairi Sane. Stark's injury caused plans to change for the Money in the Bank triple threat, with Dave Meltzer reporting on Wrestling Observer Radio that the plan wasn't for Kairi Sane to be pinned in what was the former NXT Women's Champion's return match. This would suggest the original plan was for Stark to be pinned by Rhea Ripley. Quote, Kairi Sane lost her first match back, which was obviously not the plan. They had no choice. They had to do what they had to do, Meltzer said. Now, May 19th, as I mentioned, was also Stark's first match back on Raw since January. The former Pure Fusion Collective member had been utilized on Main Event and WWE Speed since the Royal Rumble. Now, as I mentioned, it's unknown right now what the severity is or actually what the type of knee injury or leg injury is to Stark. Of course, if we get any more details, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, Roxanne Perez has been officially called up to Monday Night Raw. Roxanne Perez is officially a member of the WWE Raw roster. Ahead of Monday's WWE Raw, General Manager Adam Pearce made it official, welcoming the former NXT Women's Champion to the roster. Now, Perez had been competing on Raw alongside Julia, who joined WWE SmackDown this past Friday. Perez competed in that qualifying match, which we'll get to in just a second. But Perez, as I mentioned, is a former NXT Women's Champion and now officially on the main roster. Lyra Valkyria once again returned to Monday Night Raw, making her big return. Valkyria made her presence known in a big way on the May 19th edition of Raw, appearing for the first time since Backlash to prevent Becky Lynch from qualifying for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Natalya attempted to trap Lynch in a submission, but Valkyria pulled her out of the ring before anything could materialize. Roxanne Perez would take advantage of a distracted Natalya, pinning her with pop rocks after hitting her finishing maneuver. With this victory, Perez joins Alexa Bliss in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the rivalry between Lynch and the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion continues. Speaking of those qualifying matches, Roxanne Perez, as I mentioned, is heading to Money in the Bank, but so is Rhea Ripley. The May 19th edition of WWE Raw featured two qualifying matches for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The first match saw Natalya, Roxanne Perez, and Becky Lynch battle things out in triple threat action. As I mentioned, in the end, Perez came away with the victory, pinning Natalya after hitting her Pop Rocks finisher. Later on in the night, Rhea Ripley, Zoey Stark, and Kairi Sane competed in a separate triple threat match. Stark, as we spoke about before, was pulled from the match after suffering a knee injury early on, leaving Ripley and Kairi Sane to duke it out. Ripley would end up winning the match, pinning Sane after hitting her Riptide finisher. Perez and Ripley join a field of competitors that currently includes Alexa Bliss. Of course, she qualified this past Friday night on SmackDown. Now, it was a busy night for Roxanne Perez. Could she be the latest person on the WWE roster to join the Judgment Day? Now, Perez is not part of the group yet, but she's there to help. For several weeks, there have been shots of Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez chatting backstage at WWE Monday Night Raw. On the May 19th Raw, Perez emerged victorious from her Money in the Bank qualifying match, and Finn Balor picked up the victory for him and JD McDonough in a tag team match. The two appeared on screen together later on in the program when Finn Balor introduced Perez to the Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, Carlito, and JD McDonough. He stated that Perez is not a part of the group, but brought up that Dominic has been talking about Judgment Day needing help and possibly adding a new member. Balor said Perez can help Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. She then handed gifts to Mysterio and Carlito. She gifted Mysterio a pallet of chicken nuggets or chicken tenders and an apple to Carlito. Now, of course, Liv Morgan has been away filming a movie that she wrapped up over the weekend with the expectation she could be back on WWE television imminently. Now, several matches have been confirmed for next week's edition of WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Now, let's begin with tag team title action. Tag team gold will be on the line as the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods will defend the WWE World Tag Team Championships against American-made Brutus Creed and Julius Creed, and the War Raiders, that being Eric and Ivar. Furthermore, Rusev will look to pick up another victory as he takes on Akira Tozawa just weeks after demolishing Otis. Also, more Money in the Bank qualifying matches will also take place on the show. Let's switch over to AEW and Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. A trios bout has been added to the final AEW Dynamite before AEW Double or Nothing this weekend. AEW President and CEO Tony Khan announced that AEW World Champion Jon Moxley will team with the Young Bucks, that being Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, to take on Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Swerve Strickland on the May 21st episode of AEW Dynamite. Moxley and Swerve are set to lead their respective teams into Anarchy in the Arena at AEW Double or Nothing. Full participants, though, for the match have yet to be announced. Hopefully, we'll find out more this coming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. In terms of other things that have been announced for the show, MJF will be signing the contract to join the Hurt Syndicate. Mina Shirakawa will take on Julia Hart with Timeless Tony Storm on commentary. Will Ospreay and Hangman Page will come face-to-face. Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné will come face-to-face. Of course, they're both the finalists in the men's and women's Owen Hart Cup tournament respectively, and that trios match has now been added too. Now, more details when it comes to WWE LFG Season 2. Of course, Season 1 has just finished. Season 1 of WWE Legends and Future Greats, that being WWE LFG, wrapped its first season on Sunday, May 18th. Season 2 is just around the corner as WWE and A&E announced the new season will premiere on Sunday, June 22nd. This is from A&E saying, quote, WWE on A&E heats up this summer with Season 2 of WWE LFG debuting Sunday, June 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern. Now, the in-ring competition series WWE LFG, which showcases rising talent vying for a coveted WWE contract under the mentorship of some of WWE's biggest legends, will return to A&E on Sunday, June 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern. The first champions of WWE LFG were crowned on last night's Season 1 finale when Tyra May Steele, Team Undertaker, and Jasper Troy, Team Booker T, emerged victorious, each earning a WWE contract. Undertaker claimed the highest overall score among the coaches, securing first place and the inaugural WWE LFG title bout. After weeks of rigorous training, fierce matches, and emotional highs and lows, Steele and Troy solidified their place in professional wrestling's next generation. The intensity ramps up in Season 2, premiering Sunday, June 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern, as 16 competitors, both new and returning, battle for a chance at their dream. Guided by an all-star lineup of WWE legends, including coaches Undertaker, Booker T, Michelle McCool, Bubba Ray Dudley, and WWE SVP of Talent Development Creative Shawn Michaels, the competitors enter the next phase of training for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as the coaches share their expert insights, hopefuls hone their skills, face off in high-stakes challenges, and navigate shifting team dynamics and even tougher rivals. Each hour-long episode delivers more action, drama, and the relentless pursuit of becoming WWE's next breakout superstar. WWE LFG is produced for A&E by WWE. Executive producers for WWE are Paul Triple H Levesque, Lee Fitting, Ben Hauser, Shawn Michaels, and Jerry Borash, with Rob Chernow, Elaine Fontaine, Bryant, and Brad Abramson serving as executive producers for A&E. A&E Global Media holds exclusive worldwide distribution rights to WWE LFG in all media. Now let's go over to WWE once more and talk about WWE in Mexico. Over the last month, WWE has made it clear they're interested in increasing their audience in Mexico. The company purchased Lucha Libre AAA, quickly scheduling a crossover show involving both AAA and NXT talent. On top of that, there are rumors that an announcement of a major main roster show in Mexico is just around the corner. Dave Meltzer, speaking on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, shared his belief that WWE's motivations go beyond being strictly business, with ego playing a part in the company's decision-making. Meltzer also referred to Mexico as a battleground in an ongoing wrestling war between WWE/AAA and AEW/CMLL. Quote, "There's not a lot of money for WWE to make there," Meltzer said. "There's companies, obviously, CMLL, that's doing great business right now in Mexico, so WWE is going." They got June 15th AAA show. They'll be doing a WWE show there. I don't know the date yet, but I know they're planning a big show with Cody Rhodes as the top star on that show, which means a major show there relatively soon. The show on June 15th that Meltzer referred to is Triple Mania, set to take place at Arena Monterrey in Nuevo Leon, Mexico. On the same day, hundreds of miles away in Mexico City, CMLL will be holding a show that also features AEW talent. Now, WWE is yet to take over full control of AAA, according to Booker and former WCW star Conan. Producer Jeremy Borash was said to be playing a significant role in the transition, and there is a belief that he will serve as the liaison between WWE and AAA once everything is in place. Now let's talk about SmackDown this past Friday, and not good news when it comes to viewership information and ratings for WWE's Blue brand on USA Network. Friday night's episode of WWE SmackDown averaged 1.29 million viewers on USA Network, down 11.3% from the previous week. It's the lowest audience for the show since November 15th of last year. The show finished 4th on cable and all of television with a 0.36 rating in the 18 to 49 demo. That's down 12.2% from last week and is also the lowest rating the show has done in that category since November 15th. The show went head-to-head with the deciding Game 6 of the NBA playoff series between the Boston Celtics and New York Knicks, which topped all television with a 5.726 million viewers and a 1.63 in the 18 to 49 rating. The pre-game show and SportsCenter coverage immediately following the game were the only other two shows to beat SmackDown. As compared to the same week in 2024, the overall audience for the show was down 41%, while the 18 to 49 rating was down 39%. However, of course, the show at the time was still on Fox. And finally, an interesting tidbit here when it comes to the Queen of the Ring movie and attempts of sabotage by WWE. WWE have been accused of trying to sabotage the Queen of the Ring movie, which was released earlier this year. In a since-deleted post, the Queen of the Ring X account alleged WWE blocked commercials promoting the movie from airing during Monday Night Raw. It was also claimed that a deal for Queen of the Ring to sponsor WWE shows was agreed before being pulled at the last minute. Quote, "You should ask them why they tried to block us from running TV ads during Raw, brackets illegal, while they asked to sponsor their events. We agreed to the financial deal, then they pulled out at the last minute. This is just a glimpse into the sabotaging behavior. Perhaps we will expand on the intel," the account tweeted. Now, Queen of the Ring was released earlier this year and stars Emily Bett Rickards as Mildred Burke. WWE's Naomi also appears in the movie as Ethel Johnson, while AEW's Timeless Toni Storm and Camille have roles in the film as well. The synopsis for Queen of the Ring is as follows, quote, "An extraordinary true-life tale that follows Mildred Burke, the legendary professional wrestler and single mom who defied incredible odds to become the first $1 million female athlete and longest reigning champion at a time when the sport was banned across most of America." All Elite Wrestling prominently promoted Queen of the Ring, which led to an awkward moment at the promotion's Revolution pay-per-view as actress Damaris Lewis appeared to insinuate pro wrestling was predetermined. It is well known that pro wrestling, of course, is predetermined. However, this is not acknowledged during wrestling events. Lewis later apologized and clarified what she meant by her comments. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As we mentioned, we're at 21,784 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe as we get closer to the goal of 25k. In addition, you can join the members of the WN 365 roster. Links in the video description below. You can also click the join button or scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar. Speaking of the sidebar too, you can see all upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows we've got here on the channel, including WWE Saturday Night's main event this Saturday and AEW Double or Nothing this Sunday. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.